Happy to help. It's 5:30 this morning. I look at my phone, because, just love looking at my phone at 5:30 in the morning when I can't sleep. And it's a message from Kane, and it says, Blinkin' Nora, switch to happen. And I'm like, all right, there's one of two ways to interpret that. It could be, it's Thursday. Blinkin' Nora, switch to happen. Happen already. Turns out he meant it the other way. It's still kind of crazy to me that Nintendo just shadow dropped it, no warning whatsoever. Apparently, when they first posted it, they were like slightly cryptic, and like the title was like an update from Nintendo. But like I watched it at like 5:45, and it just said switch to reveal. So like, it's like they had the mystery one for like a whole 20 minutes or something before they I don't know. It's very strange. I don't know why they didn't give us any heads up at all. It's weird. I don't know. I can't shake the feeling that this was them just trying to maintain some level of surprise. I don't really know, but that's not important. The Switch 2 is the important thing that we're going to talk about right now, and I am going to laugh and pat myself on the back a little bit. I was right about the reveal. I was completely right. They didn't do the thing where it showed everybody using it. They did the CG, like, hardware showcase trailer with all the zooms and the white background and everything. I pretty much had it down to a T, so yeah. Pat. I mean, technically, I explored the idea, and I had a few different options for what it could be, so I don't know. I guess I can't. Maybe one pat, just like, boom, just one. We're done. And I mean, it goes without saying, all the leaks were real. Of course they were. There really was no doubt, but yeah, every single image, everything that we've seen about the console, all ended up being real. And, whether or not that kind of robbed this reveal of some of its oomph will be a discussion for another day. But I do think that it's funny how it's almost like this trailer kind of, it doesn't acknowledge the fact that like the leaks kind of messed everything up, but I think that it does recognize that like it really is just another Switch but better. We all know like it's not the most interesting upgrade in the world. It's not a completely different thing. It's just the Switch but better, which is good. I'll always say that's a good thing. But like they know that, so this trailer was designed to take that the glow up and really just put a big fat magnifying glass on that, just like to really just like intricately show off every single little detail and how every little thing has been upgraded. And I think that was a good idea. I think considering like what they were working with, I think that's probably the best that they could have done, to just be like, yeah, but it's not that much different. But look at all these little things. Even the kickstand is new and every little tiny line is different. And I don't know. It was a good way to do it. Just make, not a big upgrade, but make that upgrade feel a little more flashy, And as for the look of the system itself, it is really nice to at least get, because we had leaks of the design and everything, but it was always like, here's the shell, here's it with a silicone case on it, or here's a mock-up. It's really, really nice to just finally get an official look of the system itself in all of its glory, all of its mild glory. I really like the way the thing looks. It's really funny how technology works. Just like the Switch itself seemed kind of sleek and modern in its own way when it came out, but now it looks looks like a dinosaur. It looks archaic now. This, like it's just funny. Each thing somehow looks more and more modern. I don't really get how that works. Maybe our definition of modern just kind of changes. It's not like a linear line. It's more just like our whatever. I'm not going to go into the theory about that right now. Point is though, I really like the look of the thing. I like the look. It is sleek and it is simple and it is bigger. Everything is black. I really, really like the color highlights. I think that's fun. Because it looks like a sleek and modern piece of tech, doesn't have too much of that Nintendo whimsy. But then, yeah, the color highlights behind the control sticks, just that little tiny bit, and the fact that the two Joy-Cons have the different color, and you can always see that. I really like that. So even if you do have a plain black Joy-Con, I'm sure there will be colored ones later. But even if you just have the black, the color is in that little ring, and then in the little like strip on the Joy-Con itself. It's a little bit of a shame that you only see it when you take it off. But at the same time, it's very striking, you know? Whenever that Joy-Con comes off, just that striking shock of color that that matches the little ring behind the stick. I just think it looks really good. I think the whole thing is, I think it's perfect. I wouldn't change a thing. It looks enough like a Switch, and yet somehow still manages to look just different enough, just new enough to really look like an upgrade, to look like a modern iteration. And this thing really, it is bigger. I mean, I know we've seen like a couple comparisons here and there, but I really liked how they started with the base model Switch, and then just like zoop, like you get to see like a really clear, like how much bigger it is. And I think it's gonna feel really big. I remember, yeah, as I was saying in my reaction, that the original Switch somehow looked smaller in the trailers and whatnot, and then like finally getting it in my hands, it felt bigger than I expected. And I feel like I'm holding up my hands and kind of like making a shape of the original Switch, and then like increasing it the amount that I think the Switch 2 is going to be. It's going to be big. You know, percentage-wise, I can't remember how much bigger it is, or if we have an exact number, if it's like, you know, 28% bigger or something. Yeah, like on paper, it doesn't seem like a lot, but I feel like it's going to make a really big difference in the hands. And I still think that is kind of interesting. I don't know if they just did that so it was easier to pack more stuff in there, or you know, pack a bigger battery or the cooling or what. It is a little surprising that Nintendo would do that, and I think that you know, it's basically a guarantee that we are also going to get like a smaller light model or something later. But again, that's a discussion for another day. Plenty of time for that. We got confirmation that the Joy-Cons go in sideways, and I know it wasn't like a real thing, it was all CG, but it was still kind of cool to see how they go in from the sides. I'm really excited for that. It seems like it's you know, it's most importantly, it's going to be less prone to failure. Yeah, my Switch OLED, like they barely even stay on anymore. It's actually like becoming a problem. I almost can't use it in handheld anymore because sometimes like they just will not connect. So I'm excited about that. It also just seems fun. It was fun to slot on the original Joy-Cons. That was a cool idea, but this is you know, just kind of a change, doing it from the side. It seems like it's going to be satisfying in its own kind of way. I was kind of hoping that it would go on directly from the side. I cannot tell here, but I'm looking at the video, and it seems like each time it goes on or off, it's kind of at an angle. I think it could be that you have to put like the bottom part first and kind of put it in at an angle. I don't know. Either that or they're just doing it to be flashy. See, but then there are other parts where it's only at a very slight angle. So that might not be the case. It might not be the case that you have to do it one side at a time. I don't really know. I guess we'll wait and see on that one. I did not consider this until I started reading some comments about it. But like, there's that one part where like it shows the control sticks, and it's like, whoa, wow, look at that. The control sticks wiggle, and I thought that was funny. But do you think it's at least possible that was somehow just sort of like vaguely suggesting to the viewer that, hey, look, the sticks wiggle all around, and there are no issues. There are no drift issues or any, do you know what I mean? I don't know. It seems like it might be a bit of a stretch, but it also was just kind of funny how purposefully it showed those sticks wiggling around. Is that a feature? Joy-Cons that are not prone to failure after a year or something? I don't know. Speaking of Joy-Cons, though, lots of other stuff to talk about. The C button, they blanked it out. So weird. I mean, that's the C button essentially is the only actual mystery here. Everything else in the trailer, almost. No, yeah, basically everything else in the trailer was all like has been leaked or rumored or suggested in some way. The C button and what it does is really the only like real, genuine mystery. Obviously, like when the thing comes out, software, firmware, whatever wise, like there could be like features that it can do that we don't know yet, because things that you could not glean from looking at a picture of the thing. But like as far as like, yeah, the hardware, that C button, it's just blank in this. And I don't think that that means that we were wrong and there is no C on it, or maybe it's not even a button at all. They just thought a little square right there would look good. They just thought a nice little flat square would just be a nice little feature. No, I definitely believe that it is a button, and yet they blanked it out. And I guess that means that they want to keep it a secret, but at the same time, like, we know it's a C button. We know that there's a C on there. That's Nintendo, I guess. They don't care what's been leaked. They're just going to do their thing. They're just going to do whatever they were originally planning to do. And apparently it was always their plan to keep the C button a secret, which is, yeah, it's kind of fun, but also just kind of like, come on, like, we know what it is. We know what it is. And even if we don't know what even is the point of keeping it a C? It's just a letter C. That doesn't reveal anything, right? Like, it doesn't give away anything. If anything, that would just be, I don't know, even more mysterious. What's that button? It says C. What even could that do? What was the point of keeping it blank? I don't really know, but I guess, yeah, we will still have to wait and see. Here's an exciting one. There was, of course, a rumor that there could be an optical sensor on the side of the Joy-Con. And originally, I feel like the original rumor was saying that it might just be on one of them. However, that could just be because that came from one of the leaks, which only showed one of the Joy-Cons. And so people were like, oh, what if it's only on the left Joy-Con? But then that would be weird. You wouldn't want to use only the left Joy-Con as a mouse. You'd want to use the right one in most cases. But it seems that it is on both. This is not confirmed at all, but this trailer absolutely does suggest that we're going to be able to use the Joy-Cons as mouses. Here in the trailer, it shows them going flat on a surface and kind of like scooting around. And that's so cool. That's really cool. That is not something I would have considered, and yet it is so... It's so simple. And I know, yeah, I know Nintendo's not the first one to do it. The Lenovo Legion Go or whatever it is, you know, with the original rumor, it's something that has been done by other, you know, other similar devices. But I still think it's so interesting, and it is such a cool way to integrate mouse support into a system. And now that I know that it probably is real and could be on both Joy-Cons, my brain is going crazy. I think I'm probably going to have to do like a dedicated video just to this idea of being able to have such simple, accessible mouse support built into a console. You don't have to hook up a mouse and keyboard or anything. You're going to be able to just pop that thing off, and as long as you have a Surface, you're using it like a mouse. That's crazy. That's a game changer. That's nuts. Yeah, again, I want to start like listing all the reasons I think that's cool and all of the applications, but yeah, we'll probably have to talk about that later. But this does seem to all but confirm that we're going to be able to use the Joy-Cons as mice, and that's so cool. And it does not seem that these Joy-Cons have infrared sensors, and that is kind of interesting. The original Switch, they essentially should have just not bothered. They didn't even end up using it, you know? Like, it was for, like, 1-2 Switch and Labo, and there were, like, a couple fun little things, but, like, they never really did anything else with it, because what do you do? I don't know. Sometimes Nintendo has these really great ideas, and they know how to use them, and I feel like sometimes they'll just come up with the idea, and they say, like, we'll actually figure out how to use it later. And I think that's what happened with the IR sensor. I think they were just like, yeah, it'll come. Third-party developers, they'll figure out how to use it, and just like nobody did because it's just a weird idea. So it seems that it is gone now. And then on that note, we did get a little thing, you know, saying how like the Switch 1 games backwards compatible and all that, but they did have to put the little caveat that not every single Switch 1 game will be playable on Switch 2, and I have seen some people a little bit worried about that. I'm personally not worried at all. I essentially think that's going to come down to just Labo. You know, like Labo, 1-2 Switch, essentially just things that used the IR sensor, you know, things that are just like obviously incompatible, especially Labo. The everything about Labo depended on the size, the exact precise size of the system and the Joy-Cons. Obviously, this is not going to work with that. So I'm not worried about that really at all. They just want to cover their bases, and they just, you know, like legally, they're like, we can't advertise that it's going to be backwards compatible without giving everyone the caveat that not every single individual game is going to work. That's fine. Then they announced that there were going to be hands-on events to try out the Switch 2 in person, and that got me all excited until I read somewhere else that it's like two or three places. It's like New York and LA and something. So that's a bummer. I'm like, come on, I live in Seattle now. I'm in a major city. Can you at least hit the major cities? But no, it's apparently going to be a very limited thing. And I mean, you know, my phone is sitting right here. I'm, you know, the ringer's not on because I'm recording a video, but you know, I'm waiting for that phone call to fly me out to a behind closed doors hands-on event. We'll see. We'll see. Any day now, I'm gonna get that call. And then they revealed that the big thing, the big schmigiggy, the whole big presentation where obviously they're gonna reveal a bunch of games and all the details and all that stuff, because they didn't give us any real details here. They didn't split the difference like I was kind of hoping they would. They didn't give us price or release date or anything. Obviously, we're gonna get all of that April 2nd, and it's very funny how how, you know, our system of putting the with the day and the month the wrong way, it got people from like basically everywhere else in the world, got them all excited. They thought it was coming in February. I'm sorry everybody, sorry that they used our stupid system. And April, boy, that's a long way to wait. I mean, it wouldn't feel so long if the leaks didn't already kind of reveal everything, and this is just confirmation. You know, I feel like we're all really eager for more, so it is a little bit of a bummer. We gotta wait, what, like 2.5 months? I mean, I know it'll be here before you know it. Time goes by so quickly. It's a real scientific phenomenon. The Earth is just spinning faster. Time is just, it's moving faster all the time. So now, you know, we'll blink. 2 weeks from now, it'll be April 2nd, so it'll be all right. But yeah, it's after all this waiting, now we just have to sit on this teaser, and that's it, and that's all we have until April 2nd. Technically, they could reveal some other stuff. They could just like tweet the price and the release date if they wanted, and then make the direct just about games. They technically could. I don't think they will, but yeah, April 2nd. It's cool that it's a direct, because, you know, back with the Switch, they were doing directs, but they ended up doing a live presentation, and so it was just called, like, the Switch presentation or whatever, but it seems that this will be a direct. It's not going to be a live stage show or whatever, which is maybe for the best. You know, the stage show format, it's prone to issues. I know we had some like translation problems and whatnot last time, so they're like, forget about it. Let's just do a regular old direct. I'm sure it's a heck of a lot cheaper to do. So what else have we got? The logo. How is it that they didn't put the 2 between the Joy-Cons? I don't understand that, because the Switch logo, it's almost like they wanted to maintain the logo where the Joy-Cons are like together. Like they didn't want to split it apart. Maybe they just like the Switch branding, that logo needs to stay no matter what. Maybe that was their thinking, but it's just super weird, especially now with there's so much emphasis on the Joy-Cons coming from the sides. It would have made so much sense to put that 2 in between. But they really didn't. I mean, the 2 is basically the same like font, the same exact look we've seen in a million different mock-ups. I don't know. Or this is a complete stretch, completely baseless speculation. But could it be like way too many people had done mock-ups where the 2 was in the middle, and they didn't want there to be legal problems where people could claim that they stole their idea, you know? It's kind of like how Weird Al has said that it has gotten harder and harder to write song parodies because every time he comes up with a parody idea, he has to go online and search and see if anybody else has done the same parody. And if literally anybody has, anybody, even if it's just like a kid who uploaded a video and it got 3 views, he can't do it because that person can claim that he ripped them off. And it's actually amazing that he revealed that, because you'd think that then people would just go just to troll and like come up with every combination possible for every new song just to block him. I guess that would take a lot of work. So yeah, I don't know. Is that maybe why they didn't put the 2 in the middle? Just because like someone could claim something? I don't know. I really don't know. It is interesting though. And I think that's it. The only other thing to say is that they have soft revealed Mario Kart. The launch game is going to be Mario Kart. It's not going to be 3D Mario. I was wrong about that. Should have seen it coming. Should have seen it. It's the darn DLC. The ding-dang DLC threw me off, made me wonder why they would give us a Mario Kart so early. If it weren't for the DLC, this would be obvious. So yeah, I don't know. It's going to be Mario Kart. That's going to be the launch game. So there you go. They gave us a little tidbit there. But I will not talk about it here. I refuse to talk about it here, because that'll be in a different video. And in fact, the reveal and the main discussion are here on the main channel, but I am, for the most part, trying to keep the main channel for, like scripted, tightly edited videos, and therefore most of the follow-up, just quick, get them out, unscripted discussion stuff here is going to go over on Topic Arlo. I'm going to do one about Mario Kart. Like I said, I might do one about the mouse thing. But then here on the main channel, I do have plans. I'll have 2 or 3 other videos going out this month that will now enter full production. Got some scripts to write because there's now that the Switch 2 is officially revealed, we got all sorts of stuff to talk about. Lots of fun times ahead. I got that juice. I got that energy right now. It's been a long time. The Switch generation, it lasted a long time, and that hype has just kind of gone down and down and down, and it's just, we've been in this lull for such a long time, but I am feeling, it's finally coming. It's finally here. I'm feeling rejuvenated. Just life, spirit, energy is just filling me again, and I'm ready to launch myself at this new generation of Nintendo hardware. I'm very excited. It really genuinely does feel like embarking on an epic new journey. And I'm very pleased to embark upon that epic journey with all of you. It's been the Switch generation has been such a great time. It's been the most fun Nintendo generation just ever. Just without a doubt. I mean, nothing can beat the good old days of me being a teenager and playing GameCube games and all that stuff, but Switch generation has been great. It's been so much fun. Obviously because of the whole YouTube thing, it's just been like sharing all of this with all of you. So I guess this is just, I don't know, it's just me getting a little sentimental. We're just starting a new thing, it's a new chapter, a new leaf, as it were. And I am so pleased that you're all here with me, and I'm excited to give you a whole bunch of Switch 2 content. Games are going to be coming out. It's just going to be a great time. It's going to be a real great time.